Hello everyone and welcome to Blank First Page. My name is Lucas. Well, we have it. We have a darker black ink. This is very exciting. If you watched my previous videos, you know that I hate inks that wash out as they dry. They lighten when they dry. They do exist, but it is rare to find an ink that delivers on its darkness qualities. My initial encounter with truly black inks, and I can't remember which one came first, but there was the Lamy Crystal Black ink and the Noodler's Heart of Darkness. I can't remember whether they're both waterproof, but they certainly do a good job of drying much closer to the darkness that they have when they are wet. After some time, I found this carbon black ink from Platinum. It's a very standard, reliable black ink. It's waterproof, so I don't know if that technically classifies it as archival. You can use it and then take watercolor over it, for example. So I've had this carbon black ink for probably 2 years, and it's been exclusively the ink that I've used in my everyday carries. And then I think 6 months ago, somewhere in 2023, Platinum released this. And I'm going to crowdsource from all of you to explain to me how you're meant to properly pronounce this. And I'm not sure exactly what it means, but this is the Chou Kuro ink from Platinum, same makers of this carbon black. And the main claim that they are making about this is that it is 50% darker than the carbon ink. Now, I do not know anything about color science, so I don't know if they've actually got numbers or science to back their claims. But what I'd like to show you today is the depth of this ink, and we'll decide if it is worth buying and if it is a better ink than the carbon ink. We'll do a very brief unboxing and we'll take a look at the ink. You can recognize this notebook from some previous tests. And I'm going to open it up to the same page where I did the Lamy Crystal Black ink, and we can compare that to these two Platinum inks as well. So I will do these swatch, I'm never sure how to say it, but I'll do those tests to show how dark the ink is in a blob. But I find what you really want to see is what does the ink look like coming out of a fountain pen, because that's how you're going to use it most of the time. So I've got this dark Chou Kuro ink in my Mont Blanc, and I'm going to use this Parker to dip into the carbon ink. The reason I'm using these two pens is they've got a bit of a broader nib than my fine nib, so we get more of a line to look at to compare the inks. And for good measure, we'll do the Q-tip test. I'll wait for a second for them to dry properly. I'll give it probably 5 minutes, and I'll come back with some final thoughts. So what I have found for sure is that the darker Chou Kuro does take a lot longer to dry than the Platinum Carbon Black. They are both waterproof. I haven't had any problem with that, but it definitely takes a few more minutes for the Chou Kuro to dry coming from the same pen. If you equalize, obviously I haven't used the same pen here, but in my experience that has been the case. So if I now look at these next to each other, ignoring the top swath for now, you can see for sure that the right-hand side, which is the Chou Kuro, is much darker. It does dry pretty much the same color that it goes down as wet. Now looking at the three of them together with the Crystal Black Obsidian from Lamy, the Lamy is closer in darkness to this new Platinum one. So If you can't find the platinum Chou Kuro, the Lamy Crystal Black might be a good option. The platinum carbon black is more of a gray, but they've really nailed it with the pigment on the new platinum. I do think the darkness of the black from this Chou Kuro does have something to do with the amount of pigment that's in there, and it would make sense because this new darker platinum is, depending on where you buy it, more than double the price of the carbon black ink. So there is a price consideration there. I have been, since I got this, which is a few months now, I've only used the Chou Kuro, but I'll definitely make use of the carbon black ink. It's still a good black ink to use, but this is the new standard to beat when it comes to dark black inks. Well done to Platinum. If that's what you're after, highly recommend. And if you just want a nice black ink, Platinum Carbon Black will never disappoint. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.